Are you sick of horrible admins? Are you tired of GMs that do nothing but help their friends cheat their way to victory? Well, say goodbye to all that as we look into setting up your very own server. I am Andy with Angry Flying Bears. Let's get started. Alright, let's get started. So, first thing you want to do is open up your Steam client. Go to Library, down to Tools. And then if you scroll down here, Life is Feudal, your own dedicated server. I already have mine installed, but yeah, there'll be an option just to install it. Then as soon as it's installed, right click, hit play. What that'll do is actually finish the installation. If you don't do that, it won't create the right folders. So do that. There might be a screen that kind of pops up here for a second. Don't worry about that. It'll just close right after. And if it does stay up, just close it. We'll be dealing with that later. All right, get out of this. All right, what you want to do is come to MariaDB.org. Hit the download button here. And what you got to do is go to proceed to downloads here. It gives you different options. The one we are looking for here is MariaDB 5.5 series. Don't worry about any of these other ones. This is the one you have to download. Don't download the latest one. It won't work. All right, so click this. And what you want to do is, if you have a 64-bit version of Windows, get the x64. If you're running a 32-bit version of Windows, hit 32 here. Next thing you want to download is the Steam CMD, which you can get by just searching Google Steam CMD. I'm going to leave a link in the description for all this stuff, so it's not a big deal. So come to this page down here, and it'll say download Steam CMD for Windows. Just click that. And then the zip folder will be in your download directory right here, Steam CMD. And we will set that up here shortly. All right, now what we want to do is go to our Steam library so we can extract the Steam CMD files and create a new folder in here. Name it Steam CMD. Then just open it up. Go to your downloads where you download your Steam CMD. Just drag that into there. And depending on what kind of extraction program you got, usually you can just right click, extract all. I use 7-zip, so just extract here. What you want to do is just double click that file. Wait for it all to do. Don't interrupt this at all. Okay, then I'll say Steam at the end with just a blinking icon. And then just going to go ahead and exit that. All right, so now we have all the files that are needed to extract the client. So what we need to do is create a script to actually download the files. So in order to create a script, what we need to do is go new, text document, and then what I want to do is script LIF for Life is Feudal. Open that up. All right, once you open up the script, now we need all the info to put in here. You can go back to the web page here, and there's a creating a script thing that you can actually deal with, but I've already made changes to it to actually make it run because I had to delete a few things. So let's just look at my script here. I'll be putting this into the comments section, so you can just copy and paste. So what you want to do is once you copy and paste it from YouTube, hit the copy button, and then go back to our other script and hit paste. Save, and we're golden. All right, so that part is done. All right, now what we want to do is we have to create a shortcut that actually activates the script. So we want to grab the Steam command, right click, drag, and then create shortcut here. Now the best thing to do is rename this because it's going to be specific for Life is Feudal for updating the server client. So let's put Steam Life is Feudal server updater. Alright, then you just right click, properties. Now you want to go to the target section. This is actually the directory where your Steam CMD is located. And at the very end, just hit space plus run script. Then put the name of the script file, script lif.txt. It's important to put the txt in there. It does not register without it. So hit the apply button, hit OK. Now we can update our server. So if you just double click this, now let it do its thing. It varies on your connection how long this is going to take. I've seen people take like almost a half an hour to do this, but I got a really fast internet, so this shouldn't take very long. So what this is doing is connecting with Steam itself and downloading all the necessary files that we need that are updated and ready to go. Alright, and then when it's done, it'll just automatically close itself out. So what we want to do is go back to Steam library, which is one folder up. Now you'll have a folder here that says Life is Feudal. So these are all the files that you're going to be dealing with now. So just double click, keep this window open because you're going to be coming back and forth here a crazy amount. Alright, the next thing we got to do, which I should have known better to do before, but it caused me a lot of grief, is setting up your dedicated IP. Because if you're on a home network and you got constantly changing dynamic IP addresses, your system will always change IPs depending on the devices connected. So what you want to do is actually have a static IP address for that one system. So how we do that is just go to Control Panel, open up Network and Internet, go View Network Status and Tasks, change adapter settings. What we want to do is get your actual Ethernet adapter that you're using on your computer. Let's get this window over here because it'll get in the way. Properties. Go to Internet Protocol version 4, TCP IP v4, not the v6, the v4. Hit Properties. Go to Use the following IP address. Now, if you know which IP address that you're planning to use, put it here. If you don't, you want to select one that's basically not used on your network, otherwise it's going to conflict with something. You want to find out how to do the port forwarding. So mine's under connected clients and then port forwarding right here. Alright, now you can see all your local IP addresses that are in use at the moment. If you want to use your current IP, go open up the start menu, hit CMD, enter, then go IP config /all. Now all the information that is on your network is right here. Alright, I have this all filled out already, but to find all the IP addresses you need, they're in the IP config window that you opened up. So your IP address is here, so you can just select it, copy and paste, put it here. Same thing as the subnet mask here, the default gateway, and the 2 DNS servers here, as you can see right here. And then as soon as that's good, just OK. And what may happen is your internet may kind of disconnect and Steam go offline, everything else go offline. Windows might give you an error. Just ignore it, hit cancel. It's just kind of rebooting it to this IP. And then give it about, like I said, 3 minutes or so. Then you can go on your Internet Explorer, type a web page, make sure that your internet's working, and then you're golden. If the internet's not working, chances are either you missed a number typing it in or you grabbed the wrong address and put it in the wrong field, so just double check. Alright, port forwarding. Each router is different, so you may need to use your manual for your current one. To find your manual, sometimes you just need to find the serial number of your router. Search it online, you can usually find it that way. Or it'd be in the original box it came in. But to add the ports you need, usually it's the same on each router. For me, it's add rule. So we want to leave current application default. Application name, put life is Feudal server. And then protocol, we need TCP/UDP. All right, what we need is the 28,000 to 28,002 port range. Mine's giving me an error. That's because I already set it up with a different server, so yours shouldn't give you this error. And then you want to do the same for this guy here, give you the range there. Our IP address is going to be the one we just set up, 29.2.168.0.10. And you also want to add the ports 26,001 to 26,003 and the ports 29,000 to 29,005. The same exact way we did it before. And what I did is I named them server main for the 28,000 because this is the one it actually will run on. And then the other ports it'll run on is these and these. There's no official things stating that these are needed in the game, but my netlog was saying otherwise. So I ended up adding this in and haven't had any problems since. So just make sure these ports are opened and forwarded. Then what you want to do is just hit save. This may restart your router, so just be aware of that. Make sure you're not downloading anything because it'll cut your internet off as it reboots. That usually takes 2-3 minutes. All right, now that we got our IP address all set up, now it's time to actually get on the MariaDB. So go to your downloads where you had it before, double click it, run, hit next, accept, next. Don't bother with any of these, the default is fine. Next. Now this is where you want to create a root password. This will be your main password for everything going forward. I'm going to put one in here. All right. Now what you want to do is enable access from remote machines. Don't create this, but use UTF-8 as default character set and hit next. Leave this alone, leave this alone, leave this alone. Next. Leave this alone, just hit next. All right, now we're ready. Hit install. Yes, I would love to. All right, let's hit the finish setup wizard. All right, now that that's installed, first thing we do is to actually make sure it can connect. So we go to the start menu, go to all programs, scroll down till you see MariaDB 5.5, hit that down arrow. You're going to be coming back to here a lot, so just be forewarned. So we go down to mysql client, hit that, and enter your password that you created. All right, now as long as it doesn't give you any errors, that's good. That means it can actually connect to this client, and that's what we want. So we can get out of that. Now we can open up our SQL here. It'll be on your desktop after you install. Open that up. All right, now I already had this from before, but I'm going to delete it and create a new one just for the sake of showing you guys. Okay, so what you want to do, System Manager, this is what it's going to look like for you. Hit new. Now put LIF or whatever you want. I put LIF for everything. Keep it easy. And don't touch this. Your host name. This is going to be that IP address that you created. So mine is 10. Okay. Go to user here, you can create whatever username you want. I just keep it root. It's simple. You don't need to change that. Your password's the same password as you've been entering. The one you created at the very beginning. Don't worry about the port number. Databases, you want to hit mysql. That just opens up a default inside the system. And then we're going to be editing a version of that later. And hit open. Save modification? Yes. Okay, so now we're in here. Alright, now what you want to do now that this is open, go to that Life is Feudal folder that was in your Steam library that was created by the Steam CMD. And you want to go to the SQL here, and there will be a new SQL. Now right click and open with Notepad. I use Notepad++. Just trust me and download Notepad++. It's better for everything. And it brings this up. You want to right click, select all, copy, and come back to the SQL program. Now you want to right click LIF up here, create new database. I name it LIF_1. And you have to select UTF-8_general_CI. This is very important. It has to be this. Hit OK. Okay, then the next thing we do is right click the LIF and hit refresh. And then that brings up your LIF_1. So click on that. It'll bring up this screen. Hit this over here called query. And then in this box, right click, paste. So that'll paste everything that we had in that other text file in here. And then up here at this play button, hit the down arrow right beside it. And this won't be selected by default. It's selected now because I ran this before, but you want to hit send batch in one go. And then hit the play button. So what this is doing is executing all these commands and actually extracting the database into the SQL file. So it doesn't take too long, at least not on my system. I'm not too sure about others. But so if you go back to the Life is Feudal folder that's in the Steam library, you want to go to config. Now there'll be a world_1 here. If you're going to have multiple instances or multiple servers running, they're going to be world 1, world 2, world 3. So you can just create new ones. But let's edit this with Notepad++. The good thing about Notepad++ is that it actually color codes everything and usually highlights the editable parts. It's a very nice program to have. I highly recommend it. It's free. It's free. You can look online if you want to get detailed explanations of all this stuff and how to set it up. The only one we need to worry about here is server name. So select your server name that you want it to pop up as on the actual server menu. And password. So this is going to be required for new clients to join, if not blank. So this is basically if you want to password your game. And the admin password here is your GM password, so you can get into GM mode. So also very important. Depending on who you're playing with, I usually keep these separate. If you're playing with friends and you guys are screwing around, just everyone's going to know the password anyway. Sandbox mode, don't change this. This one, if you don't want it to be listed on the servers, you can hit this. Make this 1, and then it won't be listed on Life is Feudal server menu. Keep it 0 if you want it on there. Do not change this at all. It'll be active no matter what. If you change it to 0, it just won't work at all. Okay, everything else is just random stuff that you can change in the game. The next one we want to worry about is this one, the port number. It should be set to 28,000 by default, which is the one you want. So leave that 20,000. If it's not 20,000, put that in. That's about it. Hit the save button if you changed anything. Then we can get out of that. Go back to the Life is Feudal folder. you want to go to the documents folder here. It'll be a config local.cs. So right click this, edit with Notepad. Now, what you want to do is set this as your current server. So mine is 10, whatever your IP is. And then your username that you had before, remember we had root selected? The reason I have that selected because this is default for everything. It just makes it so much easier. We can go to the password now. This is the main password that we created with the SQL program. All right, then we just get out of that. And then what you want to do is come to the thing that says my down here. It's my.ini actually, but it's just not showing it right now. Right click my, go to edit with Notepad. It brings up this window. Now, you want to go to your start menu again. Scroll down to MariaDB. Open up my.ini file. All right, this is the one we want to end up with. So what you want to do is grab everything here besides the top word here. Right click, copy. What we want to do is come down here, make a space in here that we can copy it to, and paste. Now, what we don't want to have happen is double sets of anything. So we have 2 of these default storage engines. Let's get rid of that. Character set server UTF. Okay, we got 2 of those. Delete that. Another thing we have to delete. Now this was never told in any tutorial, and it just so happened to work after I did all this. So get rid of this SQL mode garbage. Delete that right out. And then this one here. MariaDB 5.5/data. Now this is actually really important. Now whatever we named the SQL file before, ours was lif_1, that has to go here. And then just hit save button. Then we can close out of all this. All right, next thing to do is take this config local.cs file, copy it, and then paste it in this main folder in Life is Feudal. All right, now what we want to do is actually create our server shortcuts that can start all the separate servers that we want. We're only going to have the one server, obviously, for this presentation, but if you want multiple servers, this is how you do it quick and easy. So you get your main server starting exe here, and what you want to do is right click, drag, and then create shortcut. And you can do this multiple times depending on your servers you want. So we're just going to name this Life is Feudal dedicated server. Alright, what you want to do is right click the dedicated server here, hit properties, go all the way to the end here, hit space, go world ds space 1. Now these numbers that can coincide for the amount of servers you're going to have, 2, 3, 4, right? It all depends on the server that you want this shortcut to run, and they'll all be in that config folder, and you could have multiple servers, whatever you want to do. So for this sake, we'll have this, hit apply. All right, now we got our dedicated server link. You can put it on the desktop, which is where I got mine. And now everything should work. All right, now we can just get out of everything and let's launch this thing. All right, now this can take a while depending on, I said, like your internet and everything else. So let's hope that we did it right. it might sometimes seem like it's stalled out or trying to connect and it won't connect. Just leave it be. This, like I said, this thing could take anywhere from 5 minutes to half an hour probably, depending on internet speed and everything else. So just let it do its thing. And then at the very end, if it is successful, it'll say connected to Steam, as hopefully we see here right away. All right, everyone, we have success. You should see this. CM Steam on Steam servers connected. Secure one. That is gold. Now, don't close the window because that'll exit the server. So just minimize. Now, time for the big test. Play. Now, depending on where on your network you're actually making your server, it might not show up in Join a World. I have my actual server running on my other computer on the network. So if you go join, mine's right here, Crazy Canadians. But for this one, it's not showing up on the server list because it's on the current computer I'm running. So what you're going to have to do is hit Control-key, which brings up the console. And there is a remote join server command that you got to enter. Alright, in order to join our server, what we need to do is use this command. Join to remote server, then parentheses, quotations, your IP address, followed by a colon, followed by your port number, which is in our case is 28,000. And then end quotation, comma, quotation, no spaces here. And then your password, end quotation, parentheses. It's that simple. I'm going to have it in the description for the video as well, so you can just copy and paste it right into here. But I'll go ahead and fill this out, and hopefully she starts up. Alright, I'm hoping that this works, so just go ahead and hit Control tilde again. And here we are, create our new character. Should work. Nice. So yes, we're good to go on our server. Alright, then as soon as you want to get out of the server, all you gotta do, click that X button. That is it. And then you can just reboot the server. If you're having a slow server, it's always nice to just reboot the program every now and then. It is extremely tedious getting this whole thing set up, but from now on, all you need to do is hit this, and then it'll start up your server and you're good to go. That's all you need to do from here on out. If you want to change the settings, like say, oh, you know what? I want this to be faster. I want more animals. I want this. All you need to do is go back to your Life is Feudal folder, into your config, into World 1, and you can edit everything you want, including the name of your server, and it'll change it as soon as you launch the server again. You just have to relaunch it if you change anything in here. As long as your port stays the same and your passwords don't conflict, you're fine to go. And you can change your passwords anytime you want. As I stated before, all the info is going to be in the video description, including the links to all the downloads you need and all the copy and paste data that I was showing you before. That's just an easy workaround, so you don't have to go looking for it. Because, like I said, there's like a few different small changes that as soon as I made them, it worked. And they weren't stated in any other tutorial for this, which is the reason I'm actually creating this. Hopefully this was helpful to you. And I hope everyone's servers are now up and running perfectly for them. Alright everyone, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you on the battlefield.